Okay, so if you grew up watching Nickelodeon in the 2000s, you are definitely going to recognize this face. But the news that's been circling around Tylor Chase, a star from a show we all loved, has been really, really concerning. So today, we're going to break down the story of a child star's very public struggle and the incredible efforts to try and bring him back. You see comments like this one from a viewer reacting to the whole situation. And wow, it really gets to the heart of a much, much bigger conversation, doesn't it? It kind of sets the stage for what a lot of people see as this tragic pattern, the insane pressure and the really difficult aftermath of being a child star. I mean, for millions of us, he was Martin Qwirkly on Neds' Declassified school survival guide. He was that quirky, funny, totally unforgettable side character. He was part of a show that, let's be honest, pretty much defined after-school TV for a whole generation. But then, you see these recent viral videos, and it shows a completely different Tylor Chase. The contrast between that character we knew on screen and the man who's clearly struggling now, it's jarring. And it's what sparked this huge wave of public alarm and this need to figure out what on earth happened. And here's the really tough part. Tylor's story, as heartbreaking as it isn't unique. It fits right into this narrative we've seen play out over and over again in Hollywood, what people call the child star curse. So what is that challenge really? Well, think about it. Your entire identity gets defined for you before you even really know who you are. And then when the show ends, you're faced with this massive uphill battle to be seen as anything else. It often leads to this profound identity crisis and this feeling of being left behind by the same industry that made you famous. So how did this all come to light for Tylor? Well, he basically re-entered the public conversation through a series of viral videos that just started exploding on social media in late 2023, showing him in a really vulnerable state. Yeah, people who recognized him started filming and posting these clips of him on the streets, and it was obvious he was not doing well. The reaction was immediate, just this mix of total shock from fans who remembered him and this huge outpouring of concern for his safety. But here's the thing these viral moments don't show you. This wasn't some sudden fall from grace, not at all. This was really just the public surfacing of a private battle his family says they've been fighting for more than 10 years. And what's so powerful is that Tylor himself, he was aware of his struggle from a very young age. In a poetic video he actually posted himself way back in 2014, he used these words to describe his fight with his own mental health. Later on, his father helped clarify the full scope of what was going on. This wasn't just one thing. It was a really complex combination of severe mental health conditions, including bipolar disorder and schizophrenia, all of it made even harder by substance addiction. And this part? This really tells you everything about where the family's priority was. When fans started up a GoFundMe to help, his mom actually had it taken down. She made it clear that what Tylor needed was medical attention, not cash that he was in no position to manage. They'd been trying to get him that kind of professional help for a decade. Just as the whole situation seemed so incredibly dire, a really hopeful figure from Tylor's past stepped in. His old Neds Declassified castmate, Daniel Curtis Lee. Daniel, who of course played Cookie on the show, managed to find Tylor, and his first move was just to provide some immediate human comfort. They shared a pizza, and he got Tylor into a hotel to get him out of the cold for the holidays. It was just this amazing moment of support. But Daniel's plan was much bigger than just one night in a hotel. He started talking about setting up a formal trust fund to make sure any money that was raised would be used the right way for a structured, safe recovery program. It showed he was in this for the long haul. But as anyone who has ever dealt with this knows, the path to recovery is almost never a straight line. And what happened next was just a brutal, heartbreaking reminder of the powerful hold that severe mental illness and addiction can have on a person. It was just hours after he checked in, Daniel got a call from the hotel. The room was completely destroyed. The fridge was flipped over, the microwave was in the bathtub, and the door was just wide open. Tylor was gone. And you can just hear the devastation in Daniel's voice when he talked about this later. He was so honest about his own hopefulness, admitting that Tylor's family had actually warned him this might happen. It was just a really painful lesson in how complex this kind of crisis really is. So, just when it seemed like things were at their absolute lowest, another effort started to come together. This time, it involved a different group of people who managed to organize a professional intervention, of all days, on Christmas Day. So get this, Actor Shaun Weiss, you might know him from The Mighty Ducks, put out a call to a local advocate, a barbershop owner named Jacob Harris. Harris found Tylor and, after spending hours with him, was able to get a crisis center to come out for an evaluation right there on the spot. He called it a tipping point.
And this time, it was different. This was a structured medical process. After that evaluation, Tylor was placed on a 72-hour psychiatric hold for immediate care. And the plan from there was to transfer him to a long-term rehab facility. It's exactly the kind of professional help his family had been trying to get for him all this time.
Tylor's story is still unfolding, but it just forces us all to ask a really critical question. We celebrate these kids when they're on our TV screens, but what systems are actually in place to support them when the cameras finally turn off? It really leaves you wondering, what is the industry's responsibility when the performance is over?